We are at the Rock River in Fort Atkinson, just slightly downstream from the bait box. It looks kind of fishy. I see fish jumping, but you can see from the rocks, the river is about 4 foot, probably 5 foot lower than where it usually is. I think fish are gathered. I think this curve is nice. The river widens out and there might be some deep holes, so we're gonna fish it. I came here last in April, so it's been about 2 months, but the water's a lot warmer now, so we're gonna go for white bass, gatos, and other fishy fish. Let's get some lines in the water and get some fish. All right, we got the baits out. Now we're going to toss a assortment of lures. We're going to try the grub, the blade bait, a jig, and I'm really hoping to get some bait fish so I can go for a big gato fish. So let's see what we can get here. I think I have something here. It's swimming around underneath. It does not feel like a sunfish. By the way, I'm using a worm under a bobber, about 1.5 feet. Yeah, it's coming up. What is it? It's a gato fish. It's not a very gato-ish one. It's not a very big one. It looks like good eater size, but it is a channel catfish indeed. I was trying to get a bait to catch a channel catfish, but just directly catching a channel catfish will work as well. Finally, first fish of the day, a nice little like 14, maybe 15-inch channel gato fish. I was jigging for a white bass to catch a gato fish, but I went ahead and just caught a gato fish directly. I guess that works. But however, the gato-ness of this fish is severely lacking. So we're gonna have to get a more gato-ish fish soon. So here we go, channel catfish. First fish of the day, not too bad. All right, channel gato fish. Time for you to go back in the water. I'll just release you slowly. You are a gato fish, so you can breathe there, no problem. There you go, good gato fish. I'm not actually using a worm under a bobber. I'm actually using a 1-inch gulp under bobber. Working pretty well for the gato fish. All right, I got a fish, guys. It's a decent one. My pole just shot forward from the rocks. I think it's a drum. Busting up that water wave. It's a decent size one if it is. Yeah, it's a freshwater drum. Just a freshwater drum, nothing too exciting, but not too bad of a fish. And not a bad second fish of the day, a freshwater drum. Freshwater drum, pretty average sized drum for this part of the river, but a freshy drum. All right, 2 fish for today. I did actually lose at least 1 or 2 fish, so the fish are biting today. Pretty good for this part of the rock. Definitely looking for a much bigger fish though. Ooh, the fish is lively. It's trying to escape. It's going back in the water anyway, so I don't know why it's being so hard. But anyways, go down on the rocks, get him back in the water where he actually belongs. There you go, drum. Very nice freshwater drum. I'm actually having that one weightless. No bobber, no weights there, because I didn't really want to put one on. It's having a little bit of trouble actually holding its position in the water because there's a slight bit of current, but as you can see, the bend there, the current there is not very strong, so it actually works pretty well. So hopefully you can catch me another fish because fish seem to like it weightless. I got a beastly fish on the line, a truly beastly fish on the line. Man, I don't know if it's a gato fish or a drum. It might be a drum. Let me come up and see it. Oh, is that a bowfin? I think that's a bowfin. It's beastly. Oh, look at that. That is a beastly fish. It is a bowfin. It looks a little smaller than the one I caught in Wisconsin the other day, but that is a beastly bowfin. And these bowfins, they fight really hard. They ain't screwing around, man. They want to get out. And that is a very hard fighting bowfin. It does not want to come in. I don't have the net near me, so I might have to tire it out just a little bit. All right, it's calming down, but it's still beastly. It's beastly. But yeah, there you go. We have the bowfin by shore. I think I'm ready finally to land it. 3.5 pound bowfin. 3.5 pound bowfin. A little smaller than the one I caught at the Wisconsin the other day, but a very nice bowfin. Turning out to be a very nice day of fishing at the river. A bowfin. Not expected, but a nice catch. All right, we're back at the Rock River. Yesterday, after dark, the guy, another YouTuber called Guerrero Bagre, actually gave me a live gill and a kind of like a dead one to chop up for bait. And I actually did get 4 bites, 2 hookups, but I didn't land any of the fish. They all got away. One of them actually cut my string on a rock or metal or something like that. But it did tell me, I did learn yesterday where the deeper water is. It's all on this side. And that it's a good place for gato fishing right now. So with that knowledge, we're going to gato fish today right now. So we're gonna get our stuff out and continue our fishing adventure. Some of the guys at the Southeast Wisconsin Facebook group told me that there were actually gills among the rocks. So we're going to actually toss and hope to get some small bluegills to use as bait for gato fish, bowfin, or whatever else is here. So we're just gonna jig for a while here and hopefully we can get some good bait. We got a smallie. This is not what we came for, but see ya. All right. Finally got some cut bait. No, not cut bait. We got a candidate for live bait. I want to be a fireman. You don't have hands, so you will be live bait. No. All right, it's about to get dark, and we have 1 on the live bait and 2 on the cut bait. So let's see if we can get a gato fish gigante. Oh, I got something on the live bait. He took that bluegill. He really, really wanted the bluegill. Feels decently heavy, but not nearly as heavy as the one at Johnson's Creek. Might be a channel, it might be a flathead, I don't know. Hopefully it's a fish of greater gato-ness. You know, the thing is, like, I'm down way on the bank, about 5 feet below where my stuff is, and I might actually need my net, because even though this doesn't feel like a monster, it's still a very good sized fish. It's pulling pretty hard. I can't tell what kind of fish it is right now. It still hasn't come out of the water yet. The light's pretty bright, but I can't really... Oh, I think that's a flathead. I think I just saw it. I think it's a flathead. Didn't really look like a channel there, but I think it's a flathead catfish. So it's another fish of greater gato-ness, but I don't actually have my net. Yeah, it's a flathead, and I don't think I can land it without the net, so it's going to be kind of challenging. Ooh, there it is again. It's feisty. It feels like almost double digits or high single digits. I'm definitely going to have to go get the net to actually land this dude. This dude is pretty beastly, I have to say. This dude is pretty beastly. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's definitely a flathead. It's definitely not as big as the one at Johnson's Creek. I'm a little bit disappointed, but it's still a flathead. That guy took my only live bluegill, so I don't have any more bluegills. All right, gonna wait for it to calm down a bit, then gonna release some of the line and go get my net. And after I get my net, I can finally land it and scoop it up. But yeah, I am going to have to go up the bank to get my big net because there is no way I'm pulling a 10-pound fish on the rocks. If this was like a sandbar slide, I can probably just slide it on shore. But this is like a very, very rocky type of shore and don't really want to hurt the fish that badly. And it's pretty big. It feels like around 9, 10 pounds maybe. So we're going to have to go back up the bank. And we're going to grab the net right now. All right, I'm back off the bank. The fish is still on. The fish is still on. Hopefully it just stays on because it's getting a little bit hard to manage. So let's grab my net here. There we go. Got the net. Now we're going to go land this little fish. Well, not little fish. Big fish. Big fish. Not gigante fish, but big fish. All right, all right. All right, this is the second flathead I've actually caught this year. And that's always a good accomplishment because I don't catch flatheads nearly as much as channels because channels are just generally a lot more common, I think. It could actually be because flatheads are solitary, so I don't catch them in bunches. And I really only catch them like once every once in a while. They should be getting ready for spawn, so they could just be extra hungry. All right, let me try to scoop this guy. Doesn't want to come in, but I think I can get him in. Let me see. Oh, yep, I think I got him. I think I got him. All right, here we go. Yep, got him. All right, there you go. The flathead gato fish, the fish of greater gato-ness. Here we go. A 10-pound fish of greater gato-ness. 10-pound fish of greater gato-ness. A 10-pound flathead, about half the size I caught at Johnson's Creek, ate my 6-inch bluegill. Fish of flat-headed gato-ness. Nice, 9:30 at night. All right, you fatty catfish, time for you to go back in the water. Look at that guy. Fat, eating up for the spawn. He's a little guy, so he's not with the giants that spawn early. I think some of the big giants are probably spawning right now, but he's just waiting his turn to spawn. All right, he's going back in the water. He's a good, giant, little, flat had catfish. There we go, back in the water and swimming back down. Ah, the worst thing at night is these stupid bugs. They're not really mosquitoes, they're just lake flies. But anyways, shout out to the Southeast Wisconsin Facebook group for telling me that there's gills there that got me that catfish. And shout out to 618 Fishing, one of my favorite fishing channels. Dude, you gotta fish vigil at night on the main river channels if you want to catch the big flatheads, because that's where they are. Oh my gosh, something picked up that big chunk of cut bait I had out. I actually changed the other two cut baits to smaller chunks because like things were just like nipping and then falling off the bigger chunks of cut bait. But now something hit my only big chunk of cut bait and it feels mean. It feels really mean. I'm gonna have to go down there and get it and probably then come back up to try to land it with my net. But it feels mean, man. Maybe it's another flathead guttofish. Or it could just be a big channel, most likely. It is a cut bait, and flatheads, we know they like live bait. That last one took my bluegill, but this is a big chunk of cut up bluegill. That first bluegill was actually bigger than the live bait, but I had to cut it up into chunks to try to catch a big channel guttofish. But man, this fish is mean, whatever it is. It's just hanging on. I'm trying to like just go down and kind of like just fight it, but it's pulling pretty hard. It's actually pulling me kind of like the other way. I think there's actually a fish on my other pole as well, but I gotta like fight this one. This fish feels like it's actually pulling harder than the flathead. Actually, it doesn't feel like a flathead because the flathead just kind of just like it's not as lively as this fish. This definitely feels more like a channel. But if it's a channel, it's a big channel. Could be the biggest channel I've caught this year. Oh, it's a bowfin. It's a massive bowfin. It looks so much bigger than the one I caught at the Wisconsin. Oh, that's a big bowfin, man. Dogfish fight so hard. It's a big bowfin. I'm definitely going to need my net to land this bowfin. There's no way I'm putting this bowfin out of the water without the net. All right, we're going to go back up and try to go get the net now. As soon as I reel it in a little bit more. I don't want to lose the fish, but I really need the net. This bowfin's a lot bigger than the one I landed yesterday, and it looks so much bigger than the one I landed at the Wisconsin as well. It's a huge bowfin. Definitely one that I think this is going to be my personal best bowfin ever. New personal best bowfin if I can land it. So we're going to grab the net, go down there, and hopefully land this little fish. Oh, it's a big fish. That is easily my personal best bowfin. The state record, I believe, is 13 pounds. I don't think that's 13, but it's probably getting pretty close to double digits, man. That is a massive bowfin. It makes sense that there's more bowfins now, actually, if you really think about it, because the water's a lot more stagnant now, and bowfins generally live near stagnant, slow-flowing water. If the water level was the usual height, I don't think I'd be catching more bowfins. I'd probably just be catching more gato fish if the water was at its regular height. But bowfin. All right, come on, bowfin. Nope, doesn't want to come in. Does not want to come in. Man, going to be some trouble getting that bowfin in. Bowfins actually fight harder pound for pound than any catfish I've had. But they just don't grow quite as big as like channels or flatheads. But still a big fish. Oh, it does not want to come in. Definitely does not want to come in. It's going to be an epic struggle to get it in. But I got it. Yes. Got it. There you go. Big bowfin. Oh my gosh. That is an 8-pound bowfin. 8-pound bowfin or dogfish. By far, the biggest bowfin I have caught. Insane after dark tonight. I think we got another fish on the pole. That'll probably be my last one if I manage to land it before I head off. 8-pound bowfin. All right, let's get this beastly bowfin back into the water. Gave me such a good fight. Even on 30-pound line, it took me like 2 or 3 minutes actually to reel him in. So let's put him back in the water and have him wash off. There you go, it's off. While I was reeling that other guy in, this pole definitely got hit. I'm pretty sure the fish is still on here because it's still pulling. Yep, that's a fish. It's definitely a fish. It does not feel quite as big as the flathead or the bowfin. This is a smaller piece of cut, so I'm guessing it's a channel guttofish. The fish of sufficient guttoness. It's still a decent fish, but it definitely doesn't feel like double digits. Probably like 4 or 5 pounds probably, but it's still a decent fish. I am going to land it because it is my last fish of the night. Because I'm pretty much out of cut bait at this point, and it's actually a little bit past midnight, so I got to head home. But yeah, as you can see from the previous catches, I'm right by the Bark River Road place on the Rock River, and all the hits basically came after dusk. So if you're trying to fish for giants during the day, probably not going to get too many of them. The action is really, really at night. Definitely the action's at night, not during the day. They all hit after dark. And I'm pretty sure I lost a fish or two because like they tapped it, but they didn't get it. I'm gonna have to go get my net for this one too, because even though this fish isn't nearly as big as the other ones, it's still angry, and angry 5-pound fishes, 4 or 5 pound fishes, still demand that I get a net to actually land it. Yeah, this is the point where fishing with a friend actually helps a lot because he can actually help you land the fish with a net. Whereas if you fish by yourself like me, you gotta go grab the net. If the fish is 40 pounds, this would actually be like a really, really hard obstacle. But the fish is like probably 4 or 5 pounds, so it does not really take that much effort to go grab the net and land it. Actually, if a fish was 40 pounds, I have no idea how it would land it myself because I don't know if it would even fit in the net if the fish was 40 pounds. I would have to go hold the pole and then grab it by the mouth, which is very, very difficult indeed. Very, very difficult. You have to corral the fish. And remember, the water depth actually drops off like really, really fast here offshore. So like a foot off from shore, it's like literally 3 or 4 feet deep already. So at night, you don't want to step in the water and slip because you get seriously hurt. And there we go, the fish of sufficient gatoness. I got it, a channel gatofish. Check this out. It is a 5-pound channel gatofish. Very gatoish night, 2 gatofish now. I don't think the last pole actually has a fish, but a 5.5-pound channel gato. Definitely in spawning mode, I can tell by the head. So they are going to spawn soon. Channel gatofish, 5 pounds. All right, gatofish, back in the water you go. You're gonna go back in the water where you can grow much more gato, spawn, and make more tiny little gato babies. So, going back in the water. Oh yeah, there you go, gatoing off. Well, I just got back home. That was a very gatoish night. 2 catfish and a big, big bowfin. That was by far my personal best bowfin. Great night. I actually think catfish spawn is actually happening right now. I think the really big monsters are actually starting to spawn. So the smaller fish are like still waiting their turn, I suppose. The water on the rock has been like upper 70s for a couple of days now. So I do actually think that they are actually spawning. And hopefully in a couple of weeks, the spawn will be over and they'll be hungry to recover from the spawn and I'll catch some monsters. I'll keep on trying to catch monsters, but the next couple of days, I do think I'm going to be trying to catch a couple of bass and then like some crappie and stuff. We'll do some other videos focusing on other fish. Of course, I'll still be focusing on the gato fish, but I'll try to catch some other fish as well. So hope you had fun watching this video. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button, and I will see you on the next fishing adventure.